Oh, you so
I
receive.
am a very observant man, and I saw the whole situation, and I felt the wind tunnel, even though you were on mute. And so the divine in me says, "Oh, bless you," because her heart stopped beating for a moment, maybe 2 moments, as big as that damn sneeze was, but you're still with us. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, November 6th, and I'm super excited to be here with you all. I'm excited, one, because I missed you all 2 or 3 Thursdays ago. Was at EXPCon, having my brain blown out around all the opportunities, possibilities, new relationships. Got a chance to do some cool things with Black EXP Network. They rented out a $41 million yacht. I don't know about you, but I've never been on a $41 million yacht. And quite honestly, that was a little excessive for me, but it was dope. And so now I'm, back home and excited because we've got an opportunity to do something dynamic. The program has been what the program has been up to this point. And I first want to thank everyone on this screen who's had any contribution to ZSC and what you guys have done up to this point. But some things haven't been working for us at an optimal level. And so, what we're going to do today, the purpose for this call is really to relay the groundwork for this program in terms of how we're going to move forward as a unit. The ultimate goal for this team as the big leagues. So if you look at it, Dan and I oversee the entire online leads department. We got the minor leagues entry level, Ojo, Op City, home, RDC. So we've got the entry level online lead opportunities for agents. And then those who show that they can convert, they graduate to, I'm a baseball player. So the AA, AAA ranks, which will be the flex program. And then those have proven to convert at the flex program, graduate to the major leagues, which are the very few selected people in this space. Why? Everyone wants to be a listing agent. All folks start buyer's agent flex. Those that have standards, those that operate according to a non-negotiable accountability metric, and those that operate from a place of unwavering discipline graduate to the major leagues. This is you guys. However, we haven't been producing at the major league level. And that time is that time is over. So today is going to be about laying the groundwork. Dan and I have really scrubbed through the intricacies of the program. We're still making some modifications, but we do have a basic framework that we're going to move from starting today. Is everybody cool with that? Lisette, I don't see your screen on. Jacob, I don't see your screen on. Otis, I don't see your screen on. And Soul, I definitely don't see your screen on. So I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds. And then I'm going to turn your screen on. And if we don't turn your screens on in the next 7 seconds, Dan and I are just going to remove you from the space. And then you can come back on the third Thursday when you're able to be present. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dan, anyone whose screen is off, if you could remove them from the space and we'll see them next Thursday, we'll notate that. I would greatly appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a game. This is the major leagues. It's hell of people that have been knocking on our doors to get into this space. And we're telling them no, because they haven't met the criteria. So if your camera can't be on for this 60 minutes, 55 really, because we shoot the shit for the first 5, and you can't take the time to invest into yourself, then why am I going to take my time to invest into you? It's the big leagues. We big dog here. This is no coddling. We ain't holding nobody hand. We ain't making no damn excuses. This is what it's going to be. And quite honestly, if you don't like it, you don't got to be here. Cool. Let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Let's see how I could do this. Everybody in this space is a winner. So internally, we call in this space the winner circle. Now, very much like all of our training programs in our ecosystem, this environment for sellers is built on one component, the power of human connection. This space is where we're going to dissect cutting edge tactics, and I want you to contribute your own experiences to elevate your performance and impact others. Here's the thing. Oftentimes we find that we're in this competitive space and we're fighting for listings, and I don't want to let this person know what I've got going on in my listing package and presentation, and remove the competition. Invite collaboration into this space. Why? Because it's more than enough money for everybody on this call to have multi zeros in their account and still be some more money left. So we don't need to compete. We need to collaborate. From today forward, our focus will be on 3 or 4 specific things: accountability, processes, our systems, and us connecting on a human level. Why? Because these methods are what drive our measurable results. Let's get straight to it. Anybody ever heard of Jim Quick? Show of hands, male thumbs up. Dan, no? Okay. Jim Quick, Christine, no. Jim Quick is the brain coach authority on the planet. New York best-selling book called Limitless. If you haven't read the book Limitless, I highly encourage you to read it, because each of us have been formed by these limited ideas entertained in our lives that we have embodied as adults, and we live from those false pretenses. It's going to change the game. It's going to wake your game up on a human level. Jim Quick suggests that there are 4 levels of competence that I want to present to you all. This is not a judgment call. These levels of competence that we're going to dissect briefly are indications of where we are. We all fit in this framework in one realm or another. And I assume that our ultimate objective is to get to a level of unconscious competence, which we're going to dissect now. Dan, I'm going to have you read the first level of competence starting from the top.
Unconscious competence, when you don't know what you don't know.
You just don't know what you just don't know. You may not know that there's a rhythm and a cadence and a sequence that results in conversion. You can't be held accountable for what you don't know. KD, next level of competence.
Conscious incompetence. You're aware of what you don't know.
You know that you don't know. Almost like, let me fake it until I make it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a PSA announcement. In this world, you can't ain't no faking it until you make it. Because the moment that it is discovered that you are uninformed or unaware of how to take a seller, list their property, market it, price it the correct way, and so on and so forth to get maximum net return for that seller, moment that's discovered, you no longer have a listing. So there is no faking it until we make it in this space. Christine, because you're in my screen right next to me, please read for us the next level of competence. Christine going once. Christine going twice. Christine is on mute. Christine doesn't want to contribute. She can hear me, but she can't say anything. I was going to call on Mel, but she's driving, and I do not want you to take your eyes off the road. Aaron, light-skinned brothers, got to stick together. What's your
All right.
contribution?
I mean, I'm here to ear hustle. Which one of the which level are we on? The bottom or
We
the
are on the
top?
third ear hustler. If you're ear hustling, stay on the game. You would have heard, hustler, that we're on the third level of competence. Let's go.
So the conscious incompetence,
Conscious competence, third level.
conscious competence. You are aware of skills and have the capacity to perform that skill, but only when you feel like it.
Check me out. We have this follow-up campaign called 10 Days of Pain. You know you have to do the 10 Days of Pain. You have the capacity to perform that 10 Days of Pain skill set, but only when you feel like it. He calls it conscious competence. I call it lazy. How can you sit with yourself when you know you have the capacity to perform something at the highest level, but you only do it based upon how you feel on Thursday morning? The last level, fourth level of competence is unconscious competence. It's when you know how to perform a skill and it's second nature. When that lead comes into, when you get that lead transferred to you, whether it's email or live transfer, you know exactly what to do to set the appointment. You know, have a cadence and a rhythm of what to do between when you set it and when you meet it. When you meet it, how are you going to present yourself? You know exactly what to do. It's second nature. It's unconscious competence. And I would assume, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the level of competence that we all want to operate on in every capacity of our lives. How do we get there? Is the $64,000 question, because not all of us are there. It starts with the standard. Lisette, I see your face. Can you please read this and then tell us what that means to you?
Yeah, yes. Standard. The non-negotiable commitment you make to yourself about how you show up in thought, behavior, discipline, and energy, regardless of external circumstances. They are the invisible architecture of your identity, the daily choices that define who you are when no one is watching. Your standards dictate your floor, not your ceiling. When your standards rise, your results have no choice but to flow in essence. Standards are the reflection of your self-respect and action.
What does that mean to you?
Self-respect and action, I love that.
Mm.
It basically means that you show up, period, the end. I don't want to do almost everything I do every single day, if I'm being quite honest, but I have to if I want to eat, if I want to educate my kids, if I want a roof over my head. So don't disappoint yourself. It's your own self-respect. It's your own promises to yourself. We commit to everyone, but we don't really commit to ourselves. And this standard is you truly committing to yourself and having enough self-respect to honor what you say you're going to do to self.
That's so powerful. Here's what stands, thank you for that contribution. Here's what stands out to me, and I think as that applies to what we're building with the Seller Connection program, it's a non-negotiable that you make to yourself. How are you going to show up? Moody, distracted, or focused, disciplined, high energy, regardless of lifing, because life be lifing. Still show up in thought and behavior and discipline at the highest level that we actually are, regardless of what's going on externally. It's like a standard. It dictates our floor, ladies and gentlemen. It's the springboard. It's not the damn ceiling. Okay? When we set a standard and that standard rises, our results as a listing team, as listing agents, it has no choice but to follow the standards that you've set for yourself. Period. The end. Oftentimes, folks talk about numbers and production, and we'll get to that. But if we don't have a standard or accountability mindset or a muscle of discipline, your numbers are going to reflect that you don't have a standard, accountability metrics, or a level of discipline. How high do you really want to go? Christine, can you come yourself off of mute now? Does your mute button now work? If it doesn't, I'm going to call on Danielle. Oh, it does.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking for it because I can never. It's right here on my middle screen.
Yes, please share. Please read this slide and then share with us how your sentiment on this.
Okay. Accountability, the mirror of truth that ensures you honor your standards. It's the personal discipline to measure your actions against your intentions and own the gap without excuse, without blame. At the highest level, accountability isn't about punishment or pressure. It's all about alignment and ownership. It's saying I'm responsible for my results, my habits, my energy, and the outcomes they produce. In essence, accountability is the practice of keeping promises to your future self.
What does that mean to you? Does that mean anything to you?
Just that's on you. Everything is on you. Your business is on you. You have to push yourself. Your business is a reflection of you and how much effort you put in, period.
So let's summarize that in 2 words. Own it, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be a listing agent? There's some shit that we're gonna require that you do. And we're having this conversation just to make sure that you are going to sign your name next to those 2 words of own it. And then we move forward. Is everybody in agreement with all of that thus far? Let me go back to this because I've got a few more slides. Dan and I are going to lay out how we're moving forward, and then we out of this thing. Who? Daniela, please read this slide to the team and then give us your feedback on what it means to you.
All right, discipline, doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. And that means that you're gonna stick with what you say, even if the feeling has gone away. So when we, January 1st, hit the gym, about to lose my 30 pounds, and then January 15th rolls around and you're like, I don't really want to anymore. There's no discipline, right? Because now that feeling of wanting to feel accomplished 6 months from now is no longer living within you. So now you're just like, okay, I'm okay being 30 pounds overweight. I don't need to do that anymore.
I love that. I love that. When you lie, you're only lying to yourself. So we did this exercise in one of these mastermind calls, and I've been on so many of them, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember the speaker. Could have been Intensity. Lindsay Stevens had us close our eyes and do this exercise of your current self speaking to your 10-year-old self. What would you tell that person at 50, that 10-year-old? And then taking yourself to your 70-year-old self, and what would that 70-year-old person be telling me right now today? And my 70-year-old self is telling me, stay disciplined. Because I know all the things that I want to accomplish. You know the things that you want to accomplish in life. You know the things that you want to. How are you going to get there? It's going to be through discipline. Doing the shit that you have to do no matter how you feel. Because feelings, ladies and gentlemen, keep us broke. So as we build out this seller connection program, all of this is relevant. Why? Because these are the attributes that are necessary for us to thrive at the highest level. And check this out. Let me give this to you one more. Check this out. Check that. I get excited when I'm just forgive me. Just flow with me. I'm gonna pass this slide. We got 55 days left, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, that's not the old school speed limit, although it is. That's not what that number signifies. That signifies the number of days that we have left in this year. 2026 has the capability to be the biggest year that each one of us has ever had. And I'm talking to some producers on this call. How are you going to leverage the next 55 days to make sure that your 2026 is record setting as it relates to this program? What is that going to look like? I'll tell you what it looks like for Dan and I. Structure, standard expectations set, and then execution. Collaboration in this space over competition, because all of us should be at the top producer dinners on a quarterly basis just from this program alone. We're not talking about your SOI or your flex piece. And 2026 has the potential to be the biggest year that you've ever experienced in your entire life. Are you prepared for that? And what are you willing to do? Here's how we're moving. I need to know, because I can't DocuSign each one of you to sign this operating agreement, nor will I, if you were a coaching client, but you can just give me this. Coach, we in. That's all I need. That's all I need. I don't see no thumbs. Mel, you don't type with your damn thumb. Put it in the camera. Thank you. Shit, she over there like she hella busy, like she just typing up hella contracts at the same time. We got 14 windows open with 3 art. You know what I mean? Thank you, Mel, for your participation. Here's how we're moving forward. You've had a conversation with Dan. If you've had a conversation with Dan, you are our core 5 listing agents. Who's on this call that has had that conversation with Dan that have committed to? I know you have, Lisette, Mel. Is that all? Is that it, Dan? From that 5?
Unless Jay changed his mind, I believe you opted for that too.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Jay, focus up. Jay, I need you to focus up. That daydreaming and shit, whatever else
No,
you
no,
got
I
going
thought I
on to the
already
left
said
of you.
yes.
Okay, I need you to hit pause on that. We got 30 minutes left. Hit record. No. You guys are 5 core listing agents. What that means is you're held to a standard that is a non-negotiable. 10 days of pain when you receive a lead is going to be your responsibility to facilitate. It's going to be your responsibility to manage. Well, I do want to talk to you about the 10 days of pain framework because I think that it can be modified to be more effective. Yet and still, as it is. Oh,
It
now
sucks.
something to say. Oh, now your thumbs work.
It's it's bunk. I'll tell you right now, it's not good.
So Dan and I are looking into changing that. Okay. But as it stands right now, if you are that core 5, I will be managing and monitoring your follow-up, boss, to ensure that you're executing the 10 days of pain. It's a requirement for you. It's a non-negotiable. You are our listing agent core group. For everyone else on this call and those who are not on this call, you will be a hybrid because that means that you are still receiving flex leads, but you're transitioning into seller, like Aaron, like Jessica. Daniela, where are you at? You're the hybrid, right?
I don't really get it, Vernon. I'm a little confused.
Okay, let's provide some clarity for you. Where are you confused?
What do you mean, like hybrid?
Hybrid. Are you still in the flex program?
Yes.
And now you're in the seller connection being brought into the major leagues.
No, I've been on this
Yeah, we've
Zillow Seller.
in this program.
So the hybrid are those agents who are still receiving flex leads as well as seller connection leads.
The core agents are opted out of receiving buyer connections altogether. And so the core 5 are on all the time for receiving seller connections. So there's no A shift, B shift. The hybrid agents are still receiving buyer leads and seller leads both, and then are on the A shift, B shift, or red team, black team rotation.
For
So we've
seller
got
and
this
buyer.
for seller and buyer, exactly.
Correct.
So
Okay.
rotation's straightforward. You'll just have week on, week off, and get on buyer side. If your business gets to the point where you want to focus just on sellers, that's then a conversation that anyone who's on hybrid can approach Vernon and I, but that would then be a shift off of buyers to be just on sellers
Fully
if you
into
want to have
seller.
that as your core focus.
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Clear now, Jessica?
Yes.
Do you want to stay as a hybrid?
Yes.
Daniela? Hybrid? Hybrid. Okay. Got
I
it.
have a question.
Yes, sir.
So I know there's a core 5. So who is in the core 5? Because I would love to like at least collaborate. I think that's better also because we're all on
Dan?
different areas, right?
So
Dan?
so Mel, Jay, Lisette, Jen, Ina.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it, Jay? Cool. So we're implementing the system in terms of roster and scheduling ASAP. So those 5 core, you're on period the end. And then our hybrid will be red team, black team, very similar to flex, but it'll be rotating weeks, meaning you won't be on for seller and buyer at the same time.
No. So you will be on for buyer and seller at the same time.
I think that's overload.
The logistics, and that's gonna be a pain in the ass.
I kind of do. I feel like I agree with Vernon because when I'm on for Zillow buyer and seller at the same time, it's so hard to follow up with everyone individually at that same time. I don't know if we could do like red and black where I'm on for buyer one week and then when I'm off for buyers, be on for sellers and then vice versa.
I'm gonna disagree. I think that getting buyer, like the time that I've been on this seller program, there are way less seller leads that you get than buyer leads. So it's not hard to facilitate both conversations. Plus, the Zillow rep is going to let you know, hey, this is a direct connection with the seller. So, I mean, we've been in this for a while, so it's easy for us to kind of shift our brain into, okay, this is a seller lead. Let's see what we need to do. And then the follow-up is right after. So, I mean, I personally don't have a problem with receiving both when I'm on.
Okay. Katie, you had your hand up. What's your contribution?
Yeah, I agree with Danielle the same way. It depends on the workload, depending on how many leads you're getting. So like I got one lead, seller lead yesterday, which was after like months. Like, I don't know, that's how it works, or it's like a bit slower, what's going on. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm receiving buyer's lead, I won't be like, sitting on like, hey, I should be getting seller leads too. if they're coming side by side, and I'm already setting it up, like, when we get the text message, how much leads we want for the month, we can always, like, put it over there, like, okay, this is how much my workload needs to be, and this is how many leads I want.
Well, let's do
So
it this way. I appreciate all of your feedback. We'll leave it as it is right now, Dan. We'll monitor what the lead flow looks like as a unit for those who are in hybrid. And if we need to make adjustments, we'll make adjustments accordingly. Does that settle well with everyone? Jessica, if it becomes too overwhelming, just reach out and communicate. Okay. And then we'll modify it accordingly. So that's our structure in terms of roster, in terms of staffing and coverage moving forward. Now, pipeline reviews. I don't know if you've had these before, and what happened before, I really don't care about. It's about what we're doing moving forward. I will be sitting with you individually, incrementally, just to review your ZSC related pipeline. Right? I want to be sure that our rhythm and our cadence, our sequence and our flow is resulting in conversion. I expect it to be. I don't think that these calls will warrant much coaching per se, but if it does, it does. This is a space where we ensure that we're producing at the highest level. Because the goal, although we may not have the lead capacity, enough lead capacity, the goal is to have too much lead capacity with listings. That's the goal. Now, others may have a different perspective on the direction of the program, but I'll speak from Dan's lens and my lens. We're going to take this shit to the next level. So more lead flow for everyone, bigger slice of the pie, diversifying your revenue streams. That's the objective here. And it's starting with those who are in this screen right now. We'll have the one-to-one pipeline review. If Sam, Dan, Hilary, or myself reaches out to you, encouraging you to schedule a one-to-one, please do that immediately. Don't twiddle your thumbs. Oh, forget about it. Because I'll pause you as a result of until you're able to schedule that one-to-one to resume your lead flow. Dan, did I miss anything up to this point?
No, nothing about flow. I do have questions for everyone on the 10 days of pain, but we can do that later.
Well, we have 35. I was gonna let everyone out a little early, but if there's something an open form that you want to create so that we can modify the 10 days of pain now, then let's take 10 or 15 minutes to chop that up.
Yeah, if we got like just a couple quick
Yeah.
contributions too, we don't have to take up the full amount of time, but
Jay,
go
what you
ahead.
got? I know Mel has some stuff. Jay, what you got?
No, I was
What's
just gonna
not
say
working?
quick because I thought 10 Days of Pain is just a nice reminder, nice guidance, but it's like whatever flow you wanted it to be, right? But it's just a nice reminder that you're supposed to reach out to these people almost, but it's like your own style also.
No, 10 days of pain is a follow-up plan that is extremely specific. Sending the
Yeah, like
text.
a call and then call again and then give him a text. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
follow that and then I guess you can put your own twist to it. But yeah,
I think that the 10 days of pain, the way to think of that is that's the bare minimum. So if the 10 days of pain
yeah.
says on the first day you're calling twice and sending a video and texting and you want to call them 4 times, like then that's fine. But it's not fine to
Like
say,
guide.
I'm not going to call them on the first day and I'll just wait until the second day.
Oh no, no, I mean it's like a guide, right? And then you at least that's like the base of
It's
what you're supposed
the
to
base
do.
minimum.
And then you do your
Exactly.
twist. You can so like if I wanted to do something different, like I could add whatever I wanted to do, right? It's not like okay, we're supposed to do this like in the army
Yeah,
or something.
if you want to add on different stuff to it, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And the purpose for it, you guys, and you all know this, but data shows that 26 touch points over a short period of time creates a higher probability of lead conversion, right? So the 10 days of pain, what we're trying to find out from you is like what's not working there. Is 10 days too long?
Yeah, and Melody, you had some opinions. Is there anything specific that you said the 10 days of pain wasn't working and yeah, it's not functional. Like what specifically?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what the data shows. Clearly, it shows something enough to Zillow to warrant the 10 days of pain, and that's why we're required to implement it. But from my opinion and from conversations I've had with Elias, it's just, it lacks that human.
Her reception must be bad. Where you are, Mel, your reception is. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. There you go.
What I was saying is I think it lacks that human touch to it. I don't think it's very personal. I think it's kind of like people can tell that it wasn't written for them, and a lot of times it's out of context. Like it doesn't have anything to do with that person or what they were looking for, or like for example, one of off of the top of my head, I don't have it in front of me right now, but off the top of my head, one of the subject lines is like, I'm so sorry, or it's like apologizing to them. It's like the second or third point of contact, and they don't even know who you are, but you're like already apologizing to them. And for me, it kind of lacks that professionalism that I like to run my business by. I'm not speaking for anyone else. This is obviously just in my own opinion, but I think that it's just very auto generated. It's like coming from a space of like a very cold way of approaching it. My solution, and I've talked to Elias about this, is writing out my own 10 days of pain. Like literally writing out 10 days of contacts points, 10 days of emails with my own subject lines, with my own kind of rhythm and flow, saving that to the follow up boss template and being able to utilize that with the clients coming in. So then at least it's a little bit more tailored. And obviously, we wouldn't have to sit there and write it from scratch with the power of ChatGPT. That something like that would be extremely easy. You just feed it the kind of clients that you're getting, obviously sellers in the Bay Area, whatever. And then it can just spit out 10 emails based on your own voice and making it a little more humanized. And Elias thought that that wasn't a bad idea. So
Yeah, that's totally go for it. That's
Yeah, I
100%
like.
fine. I think the reality is the emails aren't going to get you clients though. Like the auto emails is like it's a thing that we have to do, but the 10 days of pain is really the powerful part of that is 15 to 25 phone calls, 15 to 25 text and video messages within the first 10 days. And that's like the human element that you're talking about. Really the thing, the auto emails, those are going to go out whether it's our template or someone else's, but the important thing in the first 10 days is that we are blowing up their phones until you get them on the phone. And like that's right. What do you think of Vernon?
Oh man, I got a problem with that, and here's why. To Mel's point, if it's automated, there's no connection, so it's a
I mean,
waste.
if we have an issue with the emails, we can just get rid of those because
Yeah,
we
so
don't get any conversions off the emails.
that's my point. Okay, so I see. Let me
I've had sorry, can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, go for
Sorry,
it. Go for
it's
it.
because I raised my hand and I don't know if you were gonna call on me or
I
not.
was, if you would have gave me a moment. Shit. No, I'm just like, go
Go, yeah,
ahead.
jump in. Jump
I
on
was
it.
just gonna say, I've had well, I secured a listing through an email and I forgot that that was even on. But I did want to point out that I agree with Mel because I don't like the Toy Story template that goes out. I don't like that one. And then I noticed that the high note, when I clicked on it and I investigated more, I think it's a picture of Dan. And so there's not a lot of information on there, so I thought it was supposed to be tailored to us, like our picture, our high note. So I don't know, just wanted to get your guys' input on that.
Dan
Well,
trying
Dan,
to take a leads.
I know, right? I want all your Bay Area listings. Where could you forward me that high note
Yeah.
presentation? Because someone had
Yes.
mentioned that a while ago. I think Lizette, it might have been you. And I dug through all of the emails and I could not find the high note link. So
Yeah.
I would love to see that because I've heard that that's floating around somewhere.
what's that? What's your contribution?
Okay, so there's a few different versions of the 10 days of pain. And so it depends what version you're using. I had cleaned up the 10 days of pain. I believe in the parentheses of the 10 days of pain, it says ENA, and it has 28 action plans. That is the one that I cleaned up. But my question was, is Zillow requiring us to do a 10 days of pain? And is there any data on these emails and texts that they have picked? Or can we just customize maybe have a session where all of us get together, because the problem is they sound like no human, not just
Correct.
any of us. They don't sound like any human, and they just say like stupid things we would never, ever, ever say. So, since there is actually no data proving that these texts and these emails and this verbiage is what's going to get us some action, let's change it around with all of our feedback so it sounds like us versus not a person. I love the automation and I think that it does turn around. I have had sellers reach out to me because of the emails that I was sending out. I just don't like what's on there, and I would never say that ever, ever. And some of it, I cleaned it up, but before it was sending you stuff that we don't even do. So if we're required to do the 10 days of playing, can we please clean it up? Because it's 10 days of embarrassing right now, really.
We absolutely can. No, we absolutely can. So, Dan, I think that's a note to be taken. The automated piece, I'm not in agreement with that at all. It's just not, it's just there's no connection there. Also, too, I think that, and Dan, you and I could talk about this on the back end, but creating a prompt that'll ignite a conversation in this space around email templates, right? Touch points through Chat GPT or whatever AI assistant folks are using. The second piece of it is and talking to the point of human connection. We have to integrate video engagement in our outbound in our 10 days of pain. Right? That's the human piece of it. Yes, the automation sucks. We're going to modify that to where it's more human. It's coming from you all as the listing agent. It's more relevant to that individual profile. But another insertion that will help with that human interaction and engagement is video. So integrating video outbound into our 10 days of pain will remove that barrier of this automated interaction and create a human connection. So Dan, let's incorporate one, changing the whole shit. Like take all the automated email systems out and really build a tailored custom AI assisted outbound, template strategies via email and text, because you could do it for text messages as well. But then including or adding as a requirement outbound video engagement.
I mean, we can delete the emails like right now if
Okay,
it
delete them.
sounds like we can just get rid of those right now.
Yeah, like
Because
they don't work.
again,
They
I think
don't work.
the thing that Zillow, that their data and the whole reason that they have the 10 days of pain is if we can get connected and book an appointment with a customer within the first 10 days of that lead coming through, your chances of winning them as a client is like 60 to 80%. After 10 days, the chances, even if you get them on the phone eventually, the chances of winning their business drops off, like falls off a
Right,
cliff. So
right.
like the most important thing in those first 10 days is the phone calls, is the video messages, is the text message. So like we could get rid of the emails altogether if everyone's fine just phone, text, video, phone, text, video, phone, text, video every single day. Because that's the thing that actually gets clients on the line. The email is just kind of a last resort thing. So we could disable that today if it does feel like 10 days of embarrassment.
How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about disabling the automated emails?
Can we just
Need to-
I think just doing everything is good. I don't know if there's a way for us to just a reminder like, oh, email this, because everyone's doing a lot of things at the same time, like 100 different things, right? So even not just automated, just having like the task really helps. Like call this person, send a video for this person, send an email for this person,
We
and then
already have that, Jay. That's
yeah, I
in
mean
Follow Up
that's yeah,
Boss. On the
yes,
right
yes.
hand side, there's tasks.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if instead of just doing the auto email, just put like send
So
email.
you're saying
Mhm.
automate tasks as a
Automate tasks, yes, instead of the auto email, and then just do the email yourself.
Okay. Okay. That's
Mhm.
good. That's good feedback. That's good feedback. So taking you all's feedback, we're removing the automated outbound email system completely. You've committed to creating AI assisted emails and texts and incorporating video into your outbound. When we have the one-to-one pipeline reviews, I'm going to be looking into your follow-up, wanting to see your follow-up boss and see that 10 days of pain, that outbound strategic approach. Because to Dan's point, it's the touch points and the number of touch points in a short period of time that increases the probability of conversion. I would add that it's also the quality of the content that contributes to the open rate, that will contribute to the response to getting the listing appointment and so forth. So yes, you can still create automated emails, Jessica, just have them come from you as opposed to a bot, and incorporate video. Is everyone good there? At least that you have your hand. Is that an old hand? Old hand. Okay, all good. Just want to make sure that everyone got acknowledged. Dan, did we miss anything?
Nope, all good here.
So the calendar will be corrected. Okay, this is what, the first Thursday? It'll be first and third Thursday, seller. We got to correct it, Dan. And second and fourth, flex. And we won't make the mistake of missing the fifth Thursday in a month again, which is throwing us all into a loop. But yo, crush your 55 days. This is an opportunity to set the framework for momentum going into 26. Here's what I want to share with you guys, a thought, and then we're out of here, of who you are. You are not a realtor. Let's go ahead and expand our mindset in terms of our impact and contributions into the world and marketplace that you're involved in. You're not a realtor. In this space, you're a public figure. You're literally an economist. You can explain and educate someone on market conditions and the value of investments and ROIs and appreciation percentages. You're an economist. And that changes the game, ladies and gentlemen. You're not a realtor. You're an influencer. People watch your content. They listen to you. They seek advice from you. They're watching what you're doing, although they may not tell you. And you're a community advocate. How are you going to manifest who you are from this perspective in the next 55 days to ensure that 2026 is the best year that you've ever experienced? It's a question that you take home to take home with you. I won't even charge you for it. I'll see you guys in 2 Thursdays. Grace, peace, and blessings to all of you. It's always good to see your face. Until next time, deuces.